I'm sure you meant live. That's what we are now.
Yep.
Is
Yeah, of course, obviously.
Yeah, what else could it possibly mean?
I'm clicking the button that says live, but yet somehow not live. I've got slow refreshies, apparently. There. Hey, look at that. We're live.
That'll do it.
For everyone joining ahead of the live stream, jump roughly ahead 15 minutes to get the first impressions of review of the Spyderco SLYM. SLYM, in brackets. Yeah.
The old Slimmy slime.
No, see, the slime looks like the CRKT wrinkle. Yeah, that
Is that
face.
a Ken Onion Spyderco collab? They already did that. It was called the Spiker. It was also a
Oh,
knife.
I forgot about that knife.
Yeah. Also
Hmm.
ugly. I know people who own it, and they're yelling at me. They're like, "Hey!" Yeah, it's kind of.
I think if most Spydercos, you kind of have to live with the fact that, man, they're a little hideous.
If we're thinking of the same guy, I think he offered to sell it to me at one point,
Mm.
and I said no.
Too much money.
What,
Much
yeah.
money.
what was the
Yeah.
what was
Way
the
more collectible than it should be worth. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
what was that Fox collab, the stainless steel frame lock they did? Super reflective, like sandalwood on one side.
The Volpe or
Yeah, that thing's kind of a neat knife.
the Volperonis. I know a couple guys who own that. You can still buy a Fox variation without the Spyderco logo on it. I think that got discontinued 2 or 3 years ago. So you could buy a variation of it. As the words were coming out of my mouth, I'm like, I don't think they make that knife anymore. It's
It's
Ben,
bad.
Ground fog. What is up? What you carrying? Sorry,
Fun
go
job.
ahead, Joe.
No,
Yeah,
it's
why
all
not?
good. Definitely talk to people in chat before me, for sure. I understand. I see how it is. That became less okay the more I was talking about it.
What is this top fans thing in chat? Ben's one of our top fans. He got 25 XP for it.
I don't know. Is that like an internal ranking system?
I don't know. I'm a member of the channel. I'm here every time, and I have 0 XP. What the hell is that?
Dude, that is
just
hilarious.
had -5 poison damage because of that. What the heck is this? He doesn't even know.
Is this? So I guess
think statistically you might just have been more contributing, more viewership, maybe something. Ben, cheers, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Cheers to being number one.
I think it's not how much you're there, Paul. It's not percentage of videos watched. I think it's the amount of commenting that you do. And possibly only true fans get that, John, with the number 2. That's fucking hilarious. You didn't know that. You didn't know that before you pressed send. I can almost guarantee.
Just for the record, there's no way Witwicky's number 2. Dick Richards would kick his ass on that shit.
Well, when was the tracking started for this? Like, is it only metrics over the last couple lives? Because
Anyway, cheers, boys. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Ben's carrying his Patreon bug out.
Who wants to go first? Now that we've wasted 4 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on when you counted us.
3 minutes.
Navy, you're number 3.
Yeah, I'm number 3 now. Good for me.
Ground fog doesn't count because he just waves, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Crap, dude.
That's nonsense. I should be number 4, really. Like the 4th Beetle.
Going first, anyone new and fun? Anyone? Anyone Spyderco related?
Mine's Spyderco related.
Mine's Spyderco. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's just new and fun. So,
well, maybe
I can start with mine, I guess.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Because it's new and fun.
Let me. Oh, all your stuff saved as a zip. Hold on a second.
We usually wait until new and fun goes last, but
this
is not Spyderco related. It's just new and fun.
I mean, yeah. Whichever way you want to do it.
Here, we'll split the difference. Paul goes first. I'll go last. Does that work?
We've got a Spyderco sandwich.
That's even more confusing.
I know. It's dumb. Don't worry about it. There's no.
Dennis, Oreo. Go before he ruins it all.
Just
by going last.
I'll come up with more.
Okay. So I guess Dennis go first is what I'm hearing.
Oh, all right. So yes, last week we were in Montreal. Beautiful time in Montreal. Always enjoy every chance we can get out there. But something I've been kind of keeping on the down low for a while, and everyone knows here in Canada we do have some domestic carry rules about carrying on carry-on for smaller than 6 centimeters, right? So I decided to mix it up a little bit, and I've been working on something. Joe, you might not know about this. Paul now does because he went to Montreal. So I was carrying my heavily modified Vosteed raccoon.
Oh,
There you go.
I don't know about heavily modified. That looks pretty normal to me. Jeez.
Does it?
No, not at all, dude. Fuck.
And I don't know if we can zoom in. There we go. We got some crowning.
Hey, that looks nice.
I sent you 2 pictures
You sure did. Oh,
because I
yeah,
wanted to
polished.
show off. Someone learned how to crown, and someone
Hey,
didn't watch a damn video and just figured it out on his own. And I'm damn impressed with learning how to do it myself.
very cool. So what did you end up doing in order to round it?
I initial pass on a rough grinding belt.
Yep.
But because of the sheep's footy and you're trying to contour, I then now finished on a diamond stone, like so.
Mhm.
And it's almost a lapping like you would a straight razor, where it's back and forth kind of idea.
Yep.
And back and forth and rounding as you're going into it. And then doing basically the same idea with sandpaper on a flat surface, a table, whatever, and brushing that back and forth to the point where it's,
Very
damn
nice.
fine, sir, damn fine.
And 14C, so I bet it took that polish nice and quick.
Oh my goodness, look at it, dude. You
That's
can see
awesome.
me in it. Just
Yeah.
a little bit. And I'm a skinny
Yeah.
me because I'm on a bend.
Oh,
But I'm already a skinny me. Come on. Anyway, yeah.
There is that.
there he is. Or at least his fingies. Yeah, that's funny.
So, guy looked at it funny. And I said,
yeah.
It's something I've been working on to be able to carry on. And he was like, smiled at me and headed back and was continued on my way, right?
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, the full size handle gave him pause, right?
Yeah, he knew he had never seen anything quite like this before. It's not a keychain knife, right?
So if
Yeah.
you wouldn't mind showing for the camera how far the blade actually goes into the handle when it's closed.
But bam, it's awkward as hell.
Yeah. So, question then, how did you like using a knife with a longer handle, shorter blade that wasn't something like a Spyderco native?
It throws you a little bit. It does. Because you're like, the point of the blade should be in a different spot type of idea. But with the sheep's foot and with just cutting boxes open in zip ties, I mean, zip ties were easy, actually. To tell you the truth, a nice little stubby blade on the end of that handle, it gave it leverage for zip ties anytime I did actually cut one or two. Right?
Just a little push, a little pop. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but yes, anyway, the reason I was also asking about different drill bits for Spidey holing things
Mm-hmm.
was this thing might get even further
That makes sense.
experimented with.
Well, I did find a new supplier for some end mills that are in Canada. So if I find some carbide drill bits, I might give you a couple.
I've been looking into cobalt drill bits apparently.
Cobalt
for steel.
if you can
things.
if you can run them cool, generally that's pretty decent.
Keep
yeah.
it low.
Pretty much, yeah. Carbide you can get away with a little bit more. Thermal shocking is not good, but if you're going slow, you can get some pretty good results. I would love to see this thing with a little. I don't have a good example on hand here, but you know how like the pillar.
Yeah, that's exactly what's kind of in my brain. There's
Yeah.
a Peter Marzantelli knife from back in the day that kind of has that same little
That'll be
Oval.
ovally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that I might just go 3/4 size Spidey hole.
Oh, so okay, yeah.
We're not sure. I'm not sure yet. We're not sure because it's more than one person having this conversation with me. But anyway, yes, Ben, it is weird. But dude, let me tell you, as far as a full-sized handle and a carry-on knife, this makes me not want another knife when I show up at the trade show and I wait for my supplies for a full-size knife.
Yeah.
This, in theory, because of the full-sized handle, I could get the job done. Joe's speaking in the nether. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
That is nice, actually, quite honestly. That you don't need to ship anything out to meet you and worry about things going missing. And
But like I said, the full-sized handle makes a big difference on that. The
Yeah.
short blade is weird as hell. The ratio of it definitely looks weird. I'm not denying it, but anything that's 6 centimeters or less also has a 6 centimeter or less handle, and it's
Having a full size handle is kind of a nice thing, even if the
Yeah.
blade's short. Yeah.
That's 100%
There was one more thing I was going to say about this knife, and I have no idea what it was. So
The
we're gonna talk
contouring
about-
on the handles, maybe?
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
guys have seen that for a while. The
Yeah.
contours I took in my card or file, and I've been extra rounding on the raccoon.
Looks pretty good, though.
Turned
Happy
out
with
nice.
it. Now doing it with my fixed bladed Adonis that you saw from last week. The micarta scales are probably starting to get a rounding contour as well on those ones.
Very cool.
No, I don't remember what it was. It's my Montreal. We are going to discuss as well because I threw in 2 other pictures. Because Montreal is a beautiful place, one of my favorite places in Canada, and the road to Shangri-La, as it were, is the finest Montreal smoked meat in the city.
The
And on
road
the
to
road, you see some badass graffiti that's changed along the way, and so we highlight with one of the graffiti shots right off the bat.
I see.
And so if you zoom into my partners in crime, you can see that we're highly enjoying ourselves.
One of you a little bit more than the other.
Paul just
That
in
is
awe of what I'm taking a
just-
picture of, because yeah, on the other side, it's beautiful from all angles. Like it's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
that's very cool.
Both walls of that parking lot are
The
squirrel in the far left corner, also a note that is worth looking
yes,
at. It's cute as shit.
He's cute. He's got a band-aid patch on his tail. That's pretty great.
yeah.
And a floating baseball cap. All right,
Is he eating a Danish?
possibly
Something delicious.
Boston
I have no
donut,
idea.
Boston cream
But-
donut. I don't know. Yeah.
Speaking of eating, I mean, the one thing that you have to go when you're in Montreal to Shangri-La Lane is Montreal smoked meat. So
Oh,
we have the ultimate foods of Montreal.
the
going on.
vignette.
And it is not a dream, sir. It is not a dream. It is
Jesus.
the Montreal smoked meat
Oh,
with some poutine. I'm pretty sure that's brisket poutine, so it's not even Montreal smoked meat. It's brisket poutine with Montreal
perfect.
smoked meat.
That is perfect. That looks freaking delicious.
It was so good. It was so goddamn good.
So, Montreal, I do.
Yeah. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful out there.
Someone else needs to go because we're running way over time here.
Oh,
Well,
jeez.
we can continue talking about Montreal with my carry.
Sure.
And a very clear showing of what exactly a standard Canadian legal flight knife is with my man bug.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, compare and contrast. This would have probably gotten me through the weekend, but I didn't wanna. As soon as I had another knife to put in my hand, this went away.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I will say, you actually saw me flicking this thing quite a bit throughout the weekend. Like I was the fidget factor,
Absolutely.
even with the access lock, and I think with the Spidey hole it'll add to it. But it's Paul's turn to talk. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's my man bug. That's the floor of the convention.
So, what is the blade length of the man bug?
54 millimeters, I want to say.
So,
It's short.
I've contemplated taking this on trips because the blade is barely okay. Like, it's like 57, 58. So 3 very different options here as far
Joe,
as like handle sizes.
Also 54 for me.
That's crazy. This might actually have a longer blade. That's fucked.
I did it on purpose. Me and you have had conversations about pushing that 60. So 54.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it on purpose.
I
was
will
at
say-
55 and I wasn't happy.
Oh, my mistake. My mistake. This is 5 centimeters on the nose.
Okay.
I was thinking of the dragonfly, which I didn't want to shorten.
Yeah. Anyway, continue on, Paul.
Yeah, no worries. You were saying that you kind of had a little bit of like a conversation with the security or whatever in regards to your knife. They never once even asked me about mine. They didn't pick it up. They didn't measure it. They didn't look at it either direction.
That's
So
funny.
kind of give you an idea of like, are you the type of person that doesn't care having that conversation? If you don't want to have that conversation, something like this, if you can get away with it,
A ladybug or a man bug's the way to go for sure.
yeah,
Might be the
exactly.
ticket.
Although when we were talking, when you showed me your the Vosteed in Montreal, Dennis, I specifically said that I'd already started contemplating what else I could take and shrink down for a con. So we'll see how that goes.
So I mean, yeah, I got it on a banging deal, and so when you secondary market, and that's the nice thing about for anyone that's north of the border, anything that you do get on budget. Oh, it was a raccoon to begin it. Ben. Anyway, yeah.
Would this count as being collectible?
Well, no, probably not.
Collectible?
Yeah.
I
How many of
mean,
these exist?
if you care,
Enough.
man,
Enough of
I don't
them.
know. Like, I wouldn't. I'd say it's collectible, but I wouldn't say it's particularly valuable.
Yeah, that's fair.
Enough of them that anyone who wanted them from anyone who sells QSP got one.
Yeah,
So that many. Oh,
that is fair.
and that's internationally too. That's not just.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that this is still a great option. Like if you're just traveling for a weekend or shit, even a week, even the base VG10 version, because I think that's what these come in normally, would be perfectly fine for that length of time. It's going to do pretty much everything you need to.
Yeah, this might end up being a project blade in the future.
I could see it. Some chopped down versions of the Penguin look pretty sweet.
Well, I mean, I've already got the project handle, Paul. So I mean, like,
There you
I
go.
can work on number 2 here. I just need a
There you
piece of
go.
steel to go into it with the proper detent, and then we're laughing, right? So yeah,
Just have
I can grind a stop pin by hand. I've done it before. God damn it!
just make your own mini. It's fine.
Working on it. I did. That's what this is.
Yeah, exactly.
Dan, she's good. Thanks for joining us. What are you carrying? The seeds.
Yeah. Speaking of, sorry, you were gonna say something.
I was gonna say, speaking of what are you carrying,
Hmm.
Joe?
No, but before we go, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. We were talking about Montreal and
Montreal.
the road to Shangri-La. And along the road to Shangri-La, we saw Graham.
Oh, Graham.
Here's Graham.
She might have been the one stuck in the walls a couple years back. It's
Yeah.
But Graham's no joke.
No, Graham's cool as hell.
Yeah.
She sprayed herself on that wall.
She's got the aerosol can in the one hand.
The Sphinx cat in the bag. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and the dress being like contoured, like blocky, streaky graffiti is like, okay, that's pretty cool.
I think that was the coolest one.
Anyone in Canada, anyone that gets a chance to take the walk up to get Schwartz's Deli in Montreal Smoke Meat, take a walk up that main street because there is some badass art.
That Absolutely is pretty beautiful. Wicked. Well, thanks for sharing, boys. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now it's your turn.
Oh, well, I'll make it nice and quick. And by nice and quick, I mean...
Graham? No Graham?
No, just a smock.
Oh, man.
So I went through a period of carrying this damn near every day after I bought it in mid-2019, if I recall. And I had long thought, oh, maybe I should buy the new one because the actions are so much better and that's the new hot pivot and the pocket clip's not as high and all the things I've bitched about forever. I took this apart and cleaned it. My bearings were black. So it just needed a very deep clean. And now the action on it is like super drop shutty, phenomenal. Like this is just, that was me fumbling it, but it's just as good now as it was when I first bought it. Holy hell.
It's really funny.
What you're saying is you've got the Knife Joy exclusive on order? No, no.
No, but the Knife Center exclusive has the white, the raw aluminum with, I think, oh shoot, what blade were they
The
using?
what now exclusive?
Yeah, a Knife Center.
Knife
That's what
Center?
it is. Knife Center has
Okay.
like a bare raw aluminum scaled version, which looks kind of cool.
With crewwear.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's
As soon
pretty
as
cool.
you started saying words, I was like, wait, I know these words.
It's a cool looking
John
knife. And
John is commenting on your pocket clip.
Yeah.
that hollow grind in a crew wear would be just fucking gnarly. Anyway,
Step your clip up.
dude, look how up it already is. It
No,
needs to
no,
calm down.
it needs a step first before it goes up
My webcam is also
this
like,
way.
I think,
It's standing like a stegosaurus.
oily.
Have you got the 3-hole? Okay, so here's the thing, Joe. I got a S90 native sitting right up there with fluted carbon fiber that Paul's gonna buy off of me because he's a sucker. But it's got an MXG clip, and you two can fight over the clip.
He can have it.
I had a feeling that was going to be his response.
I
No, he doesn't
have-
like it.
Yeah, you're not that much of a fan of that.
No, I have it on the Chaparral, and I kind of wish I didn't. Like, it's thin enough; it doesn't bother me too much on this knife. But I actually like having that little gap, just for comfort. I don't care how much it's sticking out of the pocket; it's fine.
Comfort.
Little
Oh.
gap for comfort.
Listen, you gotta have a little gap, all right? Anyway, we're like almost 10 minutes over, so joke's
All
on you.
right,
Now we're
so
starting.
anyone who joined us in the live stream, I'm glad you stuck around for an extra 7 minutes to get to Spyderco Slime.
Sorry, so sorry.
You're not sorry.
I'm a little sorry. Only a little. We should probably get specs out of the way.
We can do that.
For the record, Joe, I sent you that link
Oh, yes.
from
Thank you.
previous. Yeah.
Specs, you say?
Yeah.
Overall, 7.8, 7.84, even. Yeah.
All right. She long
Blade
boy.
thickness, 3.4 mils. Blade length, 3.42. Edge length 3.28, so you're losing a little something in the something, you know. Yeah.
In the trail.
Titanium integrals, carbon fiber of the fat variety, the polar fat, as it were.
Yeah.
And 3.4 ounces. Full flat grind of the M390s.
It's a good
Yeah.
RIL.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's kind of
laser
like
hydralock,
IRL,
but Ravier.
but revier. Exactly. You beat me to it.
Both of you, awful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I got a couple of size comparisons, including our Dragonfly here. There was a few that felt more relevant than others, but I did manage to get, a police and an Endura here, because this is one where if you measure the cutting edge length, it's not that far off from the Endura. It's not a big knife as illustrated by the police, but if you compare it to, say, less so a native, but more so the 707, it's a really similar footprint. It's like very, very similar. I didn't have one at the same time that had access to the SLYM. I would argue it's even more similar to the Crossbones.
I was putting some comparisons in the Benchmade world of a 940
Yeah, similar overall size.
with
Yeah.
my own kind of. Oh, all right. All
Is a
right.
940 3.5 inches long?
It's
Probably.
close. I know that
I got one back
the
there.
Even
Well,
if it's 3.25, this is 3.4, so that's not that far off.
that's
so.
just it. And my the ZT 450 CF and the regular 450, whatever. They're it's 4.25 as well. It's only slightly smaller than this thing. Like, it's almost exactly in between the blade length size of the native and the SLYM here. So it's not a massive knife, but it's definitely larger than it first appears. I think it's a very, very nice size.
Osborne blade length is 3.4.
Hey, there you go. So right on the nose.
It's an
All
Osborne.
right. Yeah.
Overall, what was the overallsies? 7.87 versus 7.84. Yeah, it's an Osborne.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a little more slim as far as the knife is concerned
okay,
vertically. This way.
Elephant in the room. Elephant in the room.
Yeah.
We got fat elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
it know what it is?
Is it the fact that it's a 940 behind the edge as well?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
No. My big elephant in the room is it's an integral for like not stupid prices.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
bam, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is all of a sudden we can do an integral that's not 600 to a G from a major manufacturer.
And it's not like if you could have a cheap integral, this isn't that.
I have red flags in my hand, but I don't actually have red flags in my hand right now. If you have
red flags or green flags, because I think this is a good thing.
I don't know, white flags possibly. It's
Please stop my wallet. My wallet can't take
like,
anymore.
I surrender. I fully don't understand anymore. I surrender.
If you think about it, though, Lion Steel kind of brought it to the market.
Lion Steel
popularized it.
Has been doing integrals for a very long time out of aluminum, more recently out of titanium, and they're probably the company that does the most integrals out of their entire lineup. And I think probably largely by volume too, no? Like,
and we've talked a couple times about materials coming from Lion Steel and then being manufactured under the Spyderco umbrella at a very reasonable price point.
Yep.
The Spy Opera with all the rounding and the contouring and even the normal one with M390 at a very reasonable price point. Like, but okay, so this thing like fat carbon fibers and like integrals and M390s and blah blah blah, and then like collabs because you're getting one guy to do it and not the other guy. This should be a $600 knife. Why isn't it? Why isn't it a $600 knife?
So
reverse tariffs.
Yeah. There's that.
Those old ferrets.
Well, this isn't made in the States. It's an American company. I don't know that Italian products are being tariffed in the same way that Chinese tariffs are. Because for anyone in the knife buying pipeline in Canada, what it typically looks like is knife is made somewhere. And if it's made in the States, well, okay, you're paying a larger tariff on that coming in. If it's made in China, the importer in the States has to pay a premium for that for importation, and then they sell it to you. You see a little bit of a bump in the increase in the cost that way. I don't know about Italy. Maybe it isn't affected nearly as heavily. Maybe that's why we're seeing the very, very good prices we are.
Italy to US to Canada.
Yeah, maybe that's just a little bit better. As far as what it is,
they're like, you're okay, son.
Dude, how okay, son. But how fucking weird is it that I can look at this and go, oh yeah, this is a bang for your buck option? Like, okay,
damn skippy it is.
Yeah, like what? I'm sorry, what's the price for this on our shelf right now? Or
I'm going to cuttingedgecutleryco.com right now because we have the latest and greatest slimes on the shelves. That's right, I said it. I'm not taking it back. $379.
Yeah, it is $100 more expensive than a PM2 made in the States out of box standard S45 G10. So when we're talking about comparative price bracketing, because we do talk about that a lot, especially when it comes to Benchmade, it's like, holy shit, this is an awesome deal. And I'm used to seeing, oh, Lion Steel, that's going to be big fucking money. But it hasn't been lately. For whatever reason, it's become much more attainable.
Everyone else is caught up and gone past.
To a degree.
The one thing I want to talk about, I really like the cutouts in the back of this integral.
On the spine? Yeah.
It's a Lion Steel thing, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you have that on your SR1, SR2?
It's got a couple holes down the back, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah, I think mine does too, but it's tucked away because who cares?
Oh, geez. Oh, geez.
No, I like it. But it's come and gone, sir. Convex and aluminum frame locks.
Still kind of cool. I like it. But
have you ever
it might make a comeback the way my cupboard is going over there, or my drawer, or my box of goodies, whatever you want to call it.
The tickle trunk?
Don't call it that, Paul.
Did you never watch Mr. Dress Up growing up?
Not enough, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
That's where all the costumes were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day you put on a new costume.
Oh,
None
yeah.
of them were Catholic priests. Damn, dude. Like, seriously.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
speaking of elephants in the room. So, okay, you talk about Lion Steel. What is different between this and the Lion Steel Skinny? Because I
An
think
opening hole?
what's that?
And the Polar.
Yes. So
They,
and the steel choice. So there's a decent amount different here. So
what
the
do they do in their normal one?
Magna Cut, I think.
What? Really?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes. I'm gonna double check that, but I'm fairly certain
It's
that is
better.
what they had done.
Good job, John.
It's better. So here's the thing.
Speaking of which, Lion Steel has that new fixed blade. It's a good looking knife. Anyway,
It
I
is.
like the look of a lot of their fixed blades. So the funny thing is this this slot that they have on the Skinny, you can flick from it. You can reverse flick it. You can even pop it with your thumb if you have the right
don't tell me what to
access to
do,
it.
Joe.
But the whole man, it so how often is it where I look at a knife and I'm like, I wish this had less methods for opening? Both this knife, well, not this one, but this one, the Spyderco, and the last one we reviewed with this removable flipper technology, I'm like, yeah,
The Nano.
I want to take that off. I want to have this without the flipper tab because, and it's not terribly uncomfortable, but holding the knife and squeezing it, I do definitely feel the underside of that kind of sharp, kind of pokey flipper tab. And the Spy Nano, like you had mentioned, especially like played with John's with the tab removed. Oh, that feels so much more nice.
It was more nicelier.
And the hole on this thing is also contoured on the inside. So in terms of like smooth action on open, and I don't know if I actually got a good shot of the contouring here. I might not have. You can kind of see it here. It is actually just as rounded as the spine. It is very comfy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice one to flick.
So I'm kind of smitten with this thing because it definitely fits into that like Crossbone CEO, the Voking that I used to have, like all those like skinny flipper knives. Like it definitely sits right in there. But the thumb action on it is it's just so good. So good that I could actually forgive this knife for not having any inlays on the reverse side. That's my only bitch point for this knife is like, yeah, there's fat carbon on one side, but there should be on the other. I guess that just would have made it more expensive. But yeah, symmetry, you know?
Well, the symmetry would be nice. I agree with you. But you'd almost have to do like a lock bar overstop travel
You should,
inlay.
yes, do those things. That would make me very happy.
Yeah.
I would be definitely okay with that. Like literally, if they just mirrored this inlay and put it on the other side and just let it sit where it does.
Yeah.
I'd pay like $20-$30 more for that. Yeah, absolutely I would.
For the record, got some background noise. That's hail. So that's a good time.
Oh, on my end
That's
or
fun.
yours?
On mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can
It's
hear it from here, sir.
That's too funny. It's not coming through on your end at all on the mixing, so good noise
That's
canceling.
great. That's great news because it's not quiet right now.
Good
There's
stuff.
some serious clouds out there, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's kind of gray over here right now.
And it's Stampede.
Despite how blown out my window actually looks, that's just the white balance. Or white balance, contrast balance, whatever.
I heard small tornado warning, so I put all my hanging plots and plants and all the things in before the stream started. So
Nice.
someone was prepared.
Hell yeah.
It's a good plan. It's weird. It hails every year during Stampede, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. That's very funny.
Yeah, it's amazing how often we get hail out here.
So
anyway, Spyderco SLYM, you say?
Indeed.
Which is listed at $370 on Spyderco's website, completely sold out for the record. The SLYM, by comparison, is €330, which...
The skinny, you mean?
Or sorry, skinny, yes, which is 528 Canadian dollars. So
Is it titanium or is it aluminum?
Yep, it is titanium. At least the version I looked at is titanium.
Yeah,
now,
right.
It is anodized, but it's not fat carbon, I don't think. It is Magna Cut,
No, but is it polar fat carbon? I mean,
Polar fat carbon's not that much more expensive than the
did
rest
one
of the
of
stuff
them
they
die
make.
at the Calgary Zoo this year?
Oh, I see. I see what you were.
Poor polar fat.
No.
Oh,
You would expect it to be more
they had
yellow.
to make a knife. I mean, sacrifices were made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you get for being a carnivore.
I don't fully understand what the difference in pricing, like where that comes from necessarily.
Well, Spyderco's asking them to do it cheap, so they do.
And they're very nice about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
probably the MagnaCut versus M390. And again, we've talked about the M390 variable.
Well,
M390 from Lion Steel through Spyderco is cheaper than M390 would be anywhere else for some frickin' reason.
well,
So,
and I'm
including from Lion Steel themselves.
sometimes, yeah, I often wonder about that. Now it might just be a branding thing. That it might be like an image thing, but I still don't understand that because they're very obvious and loud about like, yeah, this is a Lion Steel product. Look, it'll say right on the side of the blade. At least 9 times out of 10, right? I mean, we have our suspicions about some made in Maniago, like some they will label it that way, but maybe it's Viper, maybe it's like who knows. My only theory up until recently would have been that like MagnaCut is so expensive to have produced and processed in the States, shipped over to Italy, produced and processed into a blade, and then shipped from there, that would explain somehow the $200 price jump. But I don't know, man. Like, especially now that with everything happening with Crucible, like, who knows?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not sure.
Basically, I hope they don't realize what a discrepancy this is and like change it. So, if you're like a spoiler for my thoughts on this knife, but if you're vaguely interested, you should probably just get it.
Well, but again, very limited run to come out with, but not sprint run, not flash batch.
That's the other thing.
Apparently, a normal thing in the Spyderco world.
How funny would it be to find out that Lion Steel thinks that Spyderco is selling it in euros?
Oh. But Spyderco's the one purchasing the knives from Lion Steel as well.
Yeah.
So like there's gotta be, unless they're just used to making absurd levels of markup.
Maybe Lion Steel is just Sal Glasser with a dark colored mustache.
Oh, holy shit, there's the hell. Dude, it was like the sun was poking through and that was just a wall.
Yes.
It's coming my way then.
Oh, it's okay, kitty. Yeah, the cat's scared now.
All right. Our dog, I'm sure, was frantic upstairs.
I gotta pull these curtains back because I want air, but I don't want to be buffeted by these things. Okay.
And I mean, he's been working with Lion Steel for a while, so I mean,
for a while, dude. They've been like collaborating since what, like the early 2000s, if not earlier. Like they've got models dating back. Like what was that model we talked about earlier? Oh, sorry. That was Fox, not Lion Steel. But they've still worked with Lion Steel for a while.
Ben had a power blip up north.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, there was a tornado warning north of us, and east of us.
The old northeast.
Holy. Okay, that's
Neast.
Well, goodbye.
If we crazy on value of what you're getting for price point. It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Sorry, I gotta close my door here. My dog's going crazy.
Blade thickness 3.4 mils. Let's talk about that.
So, I didn't actually check the behind the edge thickness on this. Is it 940-esque?
Well, a 940 thickness is 2.92.
No, but behind the edge, because it's even narrower than this, I think.
The 940, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it is slightly more narrow, but I wouldn't give it.
It's not a huge amount of difference. No.
This is skinnier than a bug out.
It sounds like they're throwing hammers on my roof.
So that floating guy from Mario.
Yeah, Lakitu is just dumping fucking hammers.
Hey, sometimes you have to go to Lakitu's juice. It's fine.
Holy crap! I almost can't see out my window. Sorry, you were talking about skinny as a.
That's the cataracts, Joe. So
Oh,
The old glaucoma.
it's like no.
no, 3.4 mils thick,
Yeah,
and it
for the
was
for the
born as
stock.
2.92.
So it does come down to like a reasonable thickness behind the edge, but it kind of like if
It's
you've
a full
not.
flat, but how flat can you get it, right? Like it's
Well, not even so much like how flat, but I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, okay, the Spyderco military. What is the stock thickness on this bastard? This thing is just about 3.5, almost 4 mils thick.
I was gonna say it's in the same stock thickness as this thing is. Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
all like very similarly, and the thickness behind the edge. Actually, I'm curious about the edge. Still did okay. The thickness behind the edge on this thing is not absurdly thin, but quite thin. Oh, there's a nice flat spot, or is that just?
yeah, I saw that when you glinted it in the sun.
Yeah.
That's okay. Don't tell anyone about it.
I
Oh,
actually
wait.
don't know if that's a. Well, I'm curious about that because.
Anyway, so what I was saying is
I
like
don't know. Still going. I think
blade.
I've weird. That is
Maybe
weird.
weird roll or something. Anyway, I
Maybe.
saw it. I saw it when
Yeah,
you did it.
I.
It was weird.
Oh,
Anyway.
it's the ring light. The ring light catching at a yeah, right there. That's my ceiling light catching at like the worst angle, but it's not actually like that.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I know how to sharpen my knives. I swear.
So what I was saying is, yeah, like blade taper. This is full flat, but it's not like PM2 full flat as
No.
blade stock. This thing's skinnier than a bug out, is what I was saying. It's thicker, like as far as the blade depth goes than
Yeah.
a 40, but I wouldn't say it's a thicker blade depth than a bug out is.
No, and it doesn't taper out to as thin behind the edge as some of these blades can. Like, I'm trying to think of a better example with a more narrow blade that still is kind of thick and wedgy. But honestly, if you go look at Pete's review over at the Cedric and Ada channel on YouTube too, he talks about the skinny and he talks about how, yeah, kind of fat behind the edge, but decent for just beating the snot out of. It's M390, so yes, it would support a thinner angle if you did want to resharpen it to, say, a 17 degree, and that still leaves you with a good bit of beef behind it. I think this is well designed for what it is, but this isn't designed to be God's gift to slicing, you know?
Behind beef.
What? That did not. What?
Beef from behind.
Beef from behind.
Yeah, did you reset your timer on that?
I did.
Good.
Yeah,
Good
14
for,
minutes, 11 seconds.
Good for you. I'm so proud of you.
I don't know what the one 14 minutes ago was, but that's fine.
I forgot to turn it on at the beginning.
There you go. You know what? It's actually very similar to the crossbones behind the edge. Very,
Okay.
very, very similar.
Okay. That gives you something to
Totally,
work with.
totally different price point, but it is very similar to both my Oz 8 version and the M390 version.
So,
Also made in the Lansdale factory?
Actually, yeah, kind of a question. Like it is Italian made.
Yeah.
Willing to bet Lion Steel, but I don't think that's ever been confirmed.
I mean, maybe it was made in front of the Lion Steel factory, and then just like,
Just in
Wow.
like the street,
yeah, well,
Yeah.
hammering it on the cobbles.
It would
It's fine.
explain the lack of stainless steel lock bar insert. It's just raw dogging the titanium there. Don't worry about it.
Dog.
It's fine. Sometimes Spyderco has those standards too. I got a subvert that says that. Anyway,
Yeah, but the subvert is well done. Anyway, without shitting on CRKT again.
Okay, so for me, like this thing knocks it out of the park. It's
a home run.
Yeah.
For a knife itself, this thing is probably like, it's not kidding. Like it's not even an 8.5. It's a 9, if not a 9.5 out of 10 type of thing. Like it's not even an 8.5 out of 10. This thing's crazy how nice it is. A little thick behind the edge, but so does 940. Get over it.
Yeah. Like I said, not God's gift to slicing. But
so the
you could do a
thing
lot
for
with
me about this damn thing.
Go
I just
on.
retired in 940. I kept 943 in the collection for sentimental reasons.
Yep.
But as soon as I picked this thing up, I was like, do I want to put another 940 back in my collection? And I know this is not a 940. I know that's terrible to say, but as soon as I saw it, and now looking at blade length and handle length, I'm like, oh my god, it's a 940. It's even more of a 940 than I. But that was like initially my first impression is like, oh my god, this thing is so similar to a 940, little thick behind an edge. I can take the flipper off, and I flicked it a couple times, and it was good action on the flicker, and there was like nothing
It's
wrong with it type of
so
thing, right?
nice.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good
But
flicker action.
do I want to pay this money to put another 940 in my collection after I just retired one variation of a 940?
So what you're saying is it's not entirely untread territory in terms of the profile of the knife.
It doesn't have a home for me, type of thing, and it's not gonna
Okay.
kick
Right.
out any Spydercos. It's not gonna
Okay.
kick out an S90
Yeah.
Siren. It's not gonna kick out an
So-
S90 Sage 6.
So infinitely
Would it be-
recommendable, but not for you.
Infinite. Oh my god, this is the nicest knife they've come out with this year.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I've got a Sage 6.
Cal saying in
Cash
chat,
that
the answer is
fucker
yes.
in. I'm the first one to admit it. They cashed that goddamn knife in, and I own it, and that's fine. It doesn't. I can't find a home for it, and for me.
That's fair.
Is it safe to or fair to say that this was one of the knives that was on your radar at the beginning of the year?
Good
though?
lord, yes.
Yeah.
Like when we're talking about top 3 surprises and top 3 disappointments, I don't want to say this is a top 3 disappointment, but in the terms of I kind of thought I was going to take this one home this year, that is definitely one of the big
okay.
swings this year for me. Like,
On that note, then, if you thought this was going to be the knife or one of, the knives you would take home, what could or should be changed on this knife to make it something that, yeah, can't live without it, I need to have it? What would it take?
Hollow grind.
okay.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
right.
Okay. Yeah, but that's
Hey, so
cheating.
here's the stupid thing about this knife, and I'm not even. And Spyderco made it. So Spyderco took a skinny, put a Spyderco hole in it, was checking it out, blah 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 type of thing. I'm not saying that the Lion Steel skinny with the little weird fullery blood groove blah 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 channel is a better looking knife. But when I covered the hole up with my thumb, just like I'm doing now, I'm like, man, that's a sleek looking knife. If they just did nothing at all, if they took the hole off, if they took the fuller off, if they took this weird spear point thing that's trying to make it a tie light, but it's not,
Wait, so you want it to be a flipper?
I guess in this particular
Welcome
situation.
to the team, brother.
But if the first thing I did, and I did, I picked up when Cal brought it in, and I took my thumb and I covered up what it would look like without a hole. And when you see that spine with the full flat grind and just a straight spine from beginning to end without thinking about, like, everyone go back to the Lion Steel version or the Spyderco version.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say,
Um,
line steel's up.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. Spyderco version. And everyone just take like your
Lion
thumb
Steel
over
version.
top of the hole and just look at that knife with your thumb over top of the hole. Paul, you're not doing it. I can't. But like,
Yeah.
look at it in a full flat straight spine from beginning to end and tell me that's not a cleaner looking knife.
It is. So
I kinda like
here's
the
That's what I
Spidey
want.
one.
That's what I
So,
want. And then Spyderco anymore.
the problem is that I like the action on the hole so much, and yes, Paul, action on the hole. I like it so much that I
605.
don't know if I would want it without. I don't know about that, and maybe I'm saying that from the position of someone who has a full flat ground M390 thick behind the edge titanium frame lock. That's like, okay, I do like this, but for me, the SLYM is doing something different.
Dude, I'm such a fickle bitch that I only flicked it 2 or 3 times. I Spidey holed it the rest of the time. I
Yeah.
only actually flipper tabbed it probably a couple times because I still hate flipper tabs.
Yep.
So I still Spidey flicked it probably 75% of the time that I was playing with it. Before Cal, thank you so much for bringing it in.
Indeed.
Let's check it out, by the way.
His answer was yes.
To what? I don't even know what the question was.
To buy it and add to the collection when you were talking about that.
Oh,
He said
yeah.
the answer is yes in
I
chat.
guess. Yeah, just
Yeah.
but it would not get carried. And
Yeah.
it's not even a sprint run or a flash batch to not get carried. It's just a regular release. And then I'm like, where does it go? I'm like, it doesn't. It might not because the key out.
So I'm gonna say that's also fair. Thick behind the edge, it makes sense. I actually prefer the Spyderco version. I like the hump. I prefer the hump.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
As far as looks, even.
So
I prefer the hump.
Okay. And then Witwicky talks about the Weir C, and I'm like, yeah, make it a sear. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly.
Okay,
You didn't buy one of those either.
So
though.
the sear, the crossbones, the 707, like there are a lot of skinny, relatively long 20 CVM 390 204P titanium flipper frame locks. There's so many of them on the market. How many of them have such a nice thumb opening method or reverse flick method? Like that hole makes this knife. And I was thinking earlier today about like with the smock, I don't mind that the hole is so small because you can still absolutely access it. It does thumb out okay. And I was considering,
we were talking about like 3/4 size hole.
Yeah.
That's legitimately what I'm thinking of here, right?
If
Like,
they could have done this instead of the hole that they had, I would take it. I'd be happy with it. But I don't dislike this. It still does the thing that I want it to do. And I feel like because of that, it does set it apart from the rest of, again, this form factor. It's just a little bit different enough, you know?
So again, I'm not saying that I would prefer it without, because I still flicked it 75% of the time.
Yeah. I'm just saying
I am being completely upfront and honest about the fact that I was like, I wonder what this looks like. And I put my thumb over. I'm like, okay, it's a slightly better, which might be the reason that it took me 7 years to buy my first Spyderco, because it took me 7 years to buy my first Spyderco after I got seriously into knives.
And you're like, yeah, I know you mentioned you're going to be selling your native, but you tend to like the Spydercos.
It depends on what Paul wants.
Yeah. But
I got 2 other knives to buy from you first, and then we'll talk.
Right? Get on this train.
But you tend to like the Spydercos without the thumb ramp. You tend to like these straight or curved lines that go over top. And I do too.
Oh, dude, one of my favorite knives still to carry from Spyderco is my Siren, like the S90 Siren. And S90 has got a sweet home for me. Like, I swapped out one S90 for another S90 because I appreciated it so much, right? Like, it's,
Yeah, I'm still kicking myself for not getting the LC200N version.
We have somebody in chat saying we must really like knives.
I break for Bedrock. I don't know if that's a Barney Rubble or a Fred Flintstone reference, but good for you, son.
That's hilarious.
What you carrying?
Yeah.
If anything. And also, yes,
that's the most important question: is what are you carrying?
We're here to talk about knives. Yeah, I had a couple of in-hand shots. I just realized I hadn't thrown up yet, so I'm just doing so to show you.
It's an Osborne. It's literally an Osborne. Like, I didn't know how much of an Osborne it was in size. Yeah. So
I gotta be honest too. Like the Osborne's cool. I do like it. I have a bit of a softer spot, I will say, for handles that come out and they hug your pinky a little bit more than the ones that trail off. Like even something subtle like this.
Piggy Hunker over here.
Okay, I know this is just jumping topics slightly, but we were talking about carbon fiber, and it's got the polar fat carbon fiber and whatever, and we were using 940 references, but for some reason, Benchmade has decided to call the carbon fiber Osborne carbon fiber 3K12.
To make it sound like a bougier version, basically, is what that is.
Riddle me that, Batman. It's still like not that exciting. I got it back there. Don't get me wrong, it's still a goat. Fuck, I like the 940. Don't get me wrong. Anyway,
the aluminum one's the way to go, though.
Screw you, hippie.
Yeah. I say that with like 8 carbon fiber knives in front of me.
I say that
and
with
no aluminum.
The aluminum 943 in my collection. Like, it's
fuck,
we're
that's funny.
Both so full of shit.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, that's too good.
Okay, so again, I like Spidey holing. I like Spidey flicking. We've been talking about carbide mills to put Spidey holes in things. But something in your brain goes, that's a cleaner knife. That's a sear. It's a wee knife sear without it, and that's a cleaner looking knife.
Yes.
Just aesthetically. And it is. It is a cleaner looking knife. And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with the reference point of opening and closing. But when you make this into a sear, it's a cleaner looking knife.
I agree with you in a lot of cases when it comes to cleaner looks on knife design and stuff like that. But there's a fine line between clean looks and boring.
Oh yeah, but
Yes.
the
And this
sear is
adds a
also
little bit of
sear
interest.
is also a boring knife. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
argue the fact that it is. Giving it 3 stripes doesn't make it fancy.
I was just gonna say,
It's-
what about the stripes? Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all
Yeah.
striped up. It's fantastic. Don't you
We
worry
tried to
about it.
be like, come on, it's got a little,
Oh, little zhuzh. It's
a,
there.
a little tiger's claw action.
I'm gonna
you know.
judge.
Oh, don't you tell me about zhuzhing.
I'm gonna judge you.
So,
Ugh.
pick of the year for Spyderco? Arguably, maybe a
Dude.
Sage 6, because I mean, there's already so many Sage 5 variations. How can I
So-
recommend Sage 6 when so many righties are already happy with the Sage 5?
This is probably my favorite Spyderco, like non Spyderco factory collab. Like,
Just know, Dennis, that all the Sage 5s are going to become Sage 6s. As far as steel choices and stuff, that's going to be a thing too.
I don't know if it will be. I don't know.
I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if it didn't.
Compression lock has got
It's-
such a huge goddamn following.
It's so easy to do. It's such an easy thing for them to swap over and make some.
You got to drill a hole on the other side because it's a left-handy. It's a left-handy compression.
Yeah, you just got to change the angle that you come in for your lock bar. That's the
Yeah.
only changing.
Yeah, and I understand that that's what you're doing, but I don't know how many people you're going to be like, "Hey, I smocked this," compared to, "Hey, I PM2'd this," which is what they already did. And I think you're going to get more people getting a Sage that's been PM2'd than a Sage that's been smocked.
What do you mean by PM? Oh, with the compression.
Compression, yeah.
I see what you're saying.
there are a good number of people out there, and I've seen as far as like video discourse and comments on like both Reddit and Blade forums and other places that still don't really like the button activated compression lock. They prefer, for
That's
whatever
weird.
reason, dude, for whatever reason, they prefer the standard. Now, their argument is that I can hold this knife however I want in any grip in any way, and I'm never going to accidentally disengage that lock. And I mean, okay, fair, but when have you ever held either a smock or a Sage and have found that your hand actually accidentally disengaged that, much less touched the button in a way where that was a reasonable fear?
And I've never once in handling my smock had to been like, oh, I need to change my grip here so
Yeah.
I don't unlock
Dude,
my knife.
I've held this thing in a pull, like to pull cut with my hand covering the button, and I'm squeezing as hard as I can. I'm not shifting around. Like,
And Paul, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. We're talking about the Spyderco SLYM or SLYM, whichever you want to say. But don't get me wrong, Paul. I'm not saying that as far as upswinging trends and technology and blah, blah, blah. Yes, a lot of companies can do it. But as far as a popularity among the masses, a Sage 6 might get slightly overlooked other than the small guys that have been asking for it. And it did have a reeling in. But I think the Sage 5 is still going to be a thing for a while. Just like the Sage 1 never
Well-
went away, even though all the other Sages did, right?
they still make backlocks.
They
s-
don't make a Sage
Yeah.
backlog. Shut up.
I don't
no,
think that the
not
Sage
for the
5
Sage, but we're talking about SLYM and Spyderco and what they're doing. Like, frame locks and backlocks are
Yeah,
still
I get it.
popular,
I
right?
don't think that the Sage 5 is going to
That's
go
what I'm saying.
away
Come on.
in favor of the Sage 6. But I just mean, like, as far as announcing new products for next year, they've been riding that same fucking train for the last however many
Yeah.
years
Yeah,
of
100%.
just putting different steels in.
Yes.
And I feel
And-
like that is going to be a thing they do. I don't
and
think
it-
it's going to replace the 5.
Yeah, in that point of view, they probably will pound the paint on Sage 6s with a couple more variations.
Spy 27, maybe.
But I
maybe a
don't think you're
Maximum.
going to get to the point where all of a sudden you don't see Sage 5s or
No.
companies making aftermarket things for Sage 5s. And
No.
blah, blah, blah. I think the demand is going to be there for quite a long
Yeah.
time.
I agree with you on that. I just meant as far as Spyderco being like, hey, this is an easy announcement for next year. We need one operation change and we have a new knife.
Yeah, well, you put Spy 27 in it because that's going to be the next one. They're not hesitating on that. Look at the Bodacious, right? Like,
Dude,
Yeah.
if I don't cave and get one of the Dragonflies first, a Sage 6 and a Spy 27 might tempt
of
me.
course that's coming, dude, with the Blue G10 that looks like this, but not really like this, but kind of
Yeah.
like this. And they actually come out with it with a 6.
Is that the same
Come
blue? It is the same blue.
on. It's, yeah. Oh, I hate the fact that you have the same blue. It's
Hey,
so
I don't
gross.
own any blue G10 knives. I don't think. Damn, I gotta fix that.
Oh, did it lock up on me again? No,
That
Oh,
one's too. Mine did
no.
too. Don't worry about it.
Uh,
it didn't. It didn't. It's
Mine
fine.
didn't either. I was just being a smart ass. Anyway, Spyderco slime, you say. I don't know
Yeah.
why I call it a slime. Probably just because.
because it's a Y, so it's a Y sound. So SLYM, slim. No, slime.
And I know it's a play
I
on
agree.
the skinny, and I know it's a play on the Spyderco, but it's funnier this way, you know?
No,
Yeah, it makes me
They should've-
chuckle.
they should have leaned into it with like some chartreuse carbon fiber.
Okay, I'm
Maybe
happy they
sprint
didn't.
runny, you know.
I'm happy they didn't do it because, like, if they had done like the polar but green, like acid green instead of the white, I would have liked it. But I think the white and the black is just going to sell way better for them. Like, this is
I
a smarter
agree.
choice.
Again, even the way that they did this and the price point that is coming in with the inlay, and like they got the good polar. They saved for the best kind of hides. This ain't 3-tier Calgary Zoo hides. Like they went up north to get these kind of polar hides. It's
Really spent those dollars well,
What-
is what you're saying.
wow.
What,
I mean,
what have the polar bears done to you, sir?
gave me an exquisite knife. That's what they did for me,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Got me
or
there.
to me, or about me. I don't know. Ask
No,
him.
not to you, because you just said you don't want it. Big old liar, man.
But for other people,
Yeah.
they gave themselves for the greater good. It's fine.
The greatliest of goods,
It's
something like that.
something. Anyway, it's not a bad looking knife.
No, it's a good looking knife, and I would cut things with it.
Yeah.
And silence.
And you should.
All right. I think closing arguments, final arguments,
Oh.
additional arguments.
Uh,
I don't know why
back-
we're arguing.
Yeah.
back mounted pocket clip. It's a holdover from the line steel design. It's well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little retrimmed. Little
Yeah,
retrim clip.
yeah, a little bit.
It works great.
I'm okay with the retrim clips. Penguin's got it. It's
I
fine.
did actually put it in my pocket and try it both in like gripping it over the pocket clip to pull out, as well as like hooking the end to pull out.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't something that was getting caught, which was nice.
No.
It
No.
didn't get caught up on the pocket.
It's very much a comfortable clip to work with.
Yeah.
I think I neglected to get a really good photo. But here is it does spoon out a little bit, but it does get kind of skinny towards the top. The lion steel
Spyderco
clip. Well, the lion steel clip. Oh. Hey, thank you, Spyderco. Okay, so lion steel has a nut, basically like a bolt top that you would use a wrench to tighten. The Spyderco variation actually has a T8 or T6. I think that's a T8 actually, looking at the size of it.
So Lion Steel does give you the little wrench as well.
Yeah.
They do, yes, but
It's better.
standardize your
deadlier.
shit.
Yeah,
Don't do a
for sure.
ZT pivot nonsense. Come on. And I think that's fun.
Hey,
but
at least they
come
give
on.
you the tool.
They do, yes. So that there
They
is
don't
that.
make you pay for the $40 ZT tool with
No, don't worry. Just buy the $40 Kershaw tool instead.
Oh, lanyard hole. We didn't
no,
bitch.
I would, but I have to wait 3 months.
We didn't bitch. We didn't bitch about the lanyard hole, but I think that's because it's so unobtrusive. It's almost not even worth marking upon. Like it's perfectly fine.
I was gonna comment on it earlier. Just the like corner cutout of it. Just drill the hole and be done with it, or drill the hole through the spine and be done with it.
Okay, the hole through the spine at an angle would have been a nice touch. I don't know how much more expensive that would have been to do. I would have preferred it, but at least they have a little bit of a shelf there, so it looks intentional, at least.
It does look intentional. I
Because
just don't.
I gotta be honest, I really don't fucking like when they do just drill a hole straight through the side, or if they do like their stupid steel tube rivet nonsense. Like, I get it, you want it to be compatible with lanyards, but good lord. Anyway, I don't like it.
Do you have a picture close up? One more thing before we go, and before we give some sort of scores.
Close up on what part?
The lock bar over travel stop.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've used that photo yet, so I have to drag it. Here we go. Yeah, this is more focusing on the blade, but yeah, you can still see the lock bar here. Oh, and then there's one here of the flipper tab too.
Kind of, but yeah, you can't overextend this frame lock because it's got a stop over travel stop on it.
Sure do.
Not the lock bar insert, but the over travel. Yeah.
Oh, the over
It's
travel
got
stop.
both.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all the same piece.
It
I don't know
is, in
if we
fact.
actually talked about that or not, but
No, I don't think we directly mentioned it, but it's pretty commonplace with a lot of, but not all, titanium frame locks these days.
it is. But I think it's also where you get the like double screw because they're like really like it's single for the lock bar insert, but they do it this way instead of this way.
Yeah,
So for those wondering why, it's because they're also adding that.
and same thing with the line steel version that also had
And-
not changed.
Because it's an integral, the screws are from the outside rather than from the inside.
Same thing with the stop pin being drilled through on the one side and threaded into the frame on the other. Speaking of which, and last note, I know this bothers some people, having the titanium threaded directly against the steel screws. I have come across so few failures online regarding the threading on titanium frames that I think it's just a non-issue, to be perfectly honest.
Is it an aluminum handle holdover? Maybe people complaining about that and bringing it to titanium.
Maybe
Because there's more of an argument there.
Yes, and I'm the victim, unfortunately, of an aluminum handle failing in that way, but I don't know that it's an issue in titanium. Now, on that note, I wonder if we go to a titanium or an aluminum version. Okay, yeah, no, it's threaded directly into the aluminum, so maybe be a little bit more careful when tightening on the skinny aluminum if you end up going that way. But I don't know. They've been doing it for so long, and they've been doing such a good job with it that I honestly don't think it's much of a problem. We've run into an issue before with Benchmades where if you over-tighten the stop pin, if you over-tighten the stop pin, this little screw here, it can pinch the blade when it's near the open position, so you'll get a drop shut action here, but then out here it'll slow down and kind of grind. I would say just use a liberal amount of like Loctite, and then just don't completely clamp it all the way down. Like just make sure it's snug, but don't gronk it, and you should be okay.
You don't want to use a conservative amount of Loctite?
Maybe a little bit more. Make sure you're using the blue stuff.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah. The red stuff is no good for you.
Yeah, the red stuff will bind you up forever.
Oh yeah, it'll make it so that movement is basically impossible. But as far as the medium strike Loctite, yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, I want one. Chances of me caving and buying one are actually, in terms of like what I'm interested in from Spyderco right now that they've been releasing, it's only second to the Spy 27 stuff, and that's only because I don't own any Spy 27. But that can be rectified with a Dragonfly, right? So I am heavily tempted.
No, wait. And what is it? July now? Yeah, wait 3 months. It'll be rectified with a Sage 6. It'll be fine.
You shouldn't put a Dragonfly there.
Oh, I see. Why not? Tell me why, Paul. Explain to me. In a way,
blood.
What you're saying is those scales won't stay blue for long, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. It'll be a home dye job, let's say.
Oh.
So, scores, feelings, frustrations. You know,
the SLYM, man. I can't even think of a good pun for it. Fuck it, man. This is quite nearly a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, I have no actual complaints about this knife. Like Jesus, it's
I see.
man. Like the one thing I would have bitched about, they made the flipper tab is removable. Like it's literally my preference. Like it's so easy to just take this shit off and then okay, great. Now it's exactly how I want it. Damn. And even my complaint about not having carbon fiber on the opposite side, like that's preference, man. That has nothing to do with like how the knife actually is.
Is that your score? Almost 10 out of 10?
I'd say, yeah, like almost 10 out of 10. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like
All right.
yeah. This thing's cool. You should buy one if you like the look of it. Just get it.
You got a dumb score to give it, Dennis?
Oh yeah.
I got a dumb one to add too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything, so you guys are doing heavy
Here.
lifting for me.
Does it have to do with how intelligent this knife is?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
Wow.
dumber than that.
Oh, mine's extra brainy. Mine's an
Mm.
extra brainy score. One
Give her.
might say it's the fourth mangenial layer.
Okay.
You want to back that one up again? You want to try that one again?
Mangenial layer?
There you go.
Mangenial.
Yeah.
I'll give you a man genial.
So, SLYM is also a reference to a protective layer around the brain.
Oh,
Refers to a subarachnoid lymphatic-like membrane.
lymphatic-like membrane. That's
So
all right.
Yuck.
Apparently, the lymphatic, it's the LY. Lymphatic-like membrane is the M. So I don't know. There's some scientists that are cheating on some shit.
I want to say that's the blood-brain barrier, right?
John's comment. No, Maniaco. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The fourth Maniago layer. That's right.
Oh, it's Italians all the way down, isn't it?
That's right. It's a fourth layer that it protects your brain, but also surrenders very easily.
Dude, is that a tie-in for Dante's Inferno? The fourth layer. The Maniago is the fourth layer.
It's starting to make sense.
I hate it.
I feel like it should be earlier than that. Get it out of the way. Yeah. Like, there's worse things to come. Let's just do this. No one likes it. It's fine.
The mountains are pretty. You've seen videos of Maniago. The factory tours that they've done. Oh, man, it's a pretty piece of country, but okay, anyway.
Fair enough.
All right, Paul, what's your...
My score? My score? The much dumber score than talking about brain bits?
The meningeal layers?
You can't... I mean, technically,
cerebrospinal fluids, as it were.
I guess technically you could eat that, but you don't.
That's how you get
prions. But
yeah, exactly.
You don't want those. You don't want those.
What you can eat, you see, is the 4 bags out of 5 of Skinny Pop popcorn that I'm giving this thing, because it's the skinny, but it's got pop.
What flavors of
well, there's original, there's cheddar jalapeno.
I was gonna say, if you don't pick the cheddar one, you're fucking wrong, okay? Like,
cheddar popcorn is fucking disgusting, okay?
That's the one flavor.
White cheddar popcorn?
Dude, cheese and popcorn are not a good mix. That is a small hill, but a hill I will die on.
Velveeta? You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. You don't like smart food?
No, keep that shit away from me.
As dumb as possible.
Look,
Paul.
just drown it. Dude, I would rather have drowned in butter to the point of it being mush than have cheesy popcorn.
That's just eating butter with extra steps.
No, I know. And I don't like that either. Just give me like slather in butter, sure. Salted caramel is fine, but cheese on your popcorn? No, you're fucked up.
You're talking about that. You can get avocado lime popcorn from Skinny Pop. That sounds disgusting.
I'd be willing to try that once and then be prepared to hate it for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Avocado the popcorn. What am I, made of money?
No, it's just
Oh.
West Coast.
I'll never buy a house.
California inspired. It's fine.
I'll never buy a house that way.
That's okay. That's okay.
No, probably not. And
Oh my god, is this vanilla versus vanilla bean again?
it's
No, this is slightly more sane than that.
depends on how French it is, John. It depends
Yeah.
on how French it is.
Remember that, Mr. Witwicky.
So good times. Spyderco SLYM, knife of the year. No, that's not. It's,
Is it really bad to call it Spyderco's Knife of the Year when it's not even made by Spyderco?
no, it's fine. It's got their logo on it. It still counts.
It's got the hole.
I would say best buy of the year, ultimately, as far
Mm.
as looking for.
So, dude, okay, so speaking of, and before we go on to other stuff, but can you think of any other integral competitive options in this price range with these materials?
No, because it's dumb. It's
Yeah.
dumb.
Like,
Is an arcade integral?
no.
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 It's got crossbar, doesn't it? Oh no, it's got the shark lock. You couldn't.
Sharky.
You
I
could.
don't think you could. Could you?
You could, but I don't
I don't know.
I don't think it
L6
is.
got one. Tell us now. I don't think it's integral. It might be.
No,
integral.
I don't think it's integral.
He got tired of us and left.
That's fair. That's entirely fair.
Definitely not. There's a big hole in the back of that knife.
Yeah. There would have to be that lanyard area would have to be solid to make room for the shark lock. That blue and carbon fiber arcade, man. God damn. That is a cool looking knife.
Anyway, Integralese, it's probably only Lion Steel that's got anything close to this price point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
my neighbors
Tucson.
are very
Wait,
loud in
no,
the
wait.
hallway.
We discounted all of the Chinese knockoffs. That
Wow.
may be titanium.
Yeah, and as far as what graded titanium and blah 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 blah. I'm
I think
kind
it's
of
like a C- at best.
we don't carry too many integrals, so I'm just dropping by Knife Center here to see. Can we isolate by integral and then sort by
I
price?
really thought you were going to launch into our national anthem there for a second.
No, I'm not that based.
Oh, can.
So pretty much done here at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Done diddly.
I'm just
Hey, look, it's Lion Steel
yeah.
with the integrals.
Even on their cheapest option, which I think they just call integral. But okay, so I'm just searching integral titanium, so that may not necessarily get everything. So 3, what is that? CAD to USD. So we're looking for something around 270 here. Okay, so there's the integral slip joint in M390, but we want something that has a lock.
I do like that knife, though.
Oh, well, yeah, to make it comparable.
I do like the thrill. It's a good looking knife.
Dude, there's like nothing. Like I think this Arsenal flipper, I don't think that's actually integral. I think unless the scales are bolted on.
It's a taco.
Oh, it is a
taco
taco.
integral.
Oh, so the G10 section is integral, but the titanium are two separate slabs?
Yeah, that's right. Taco.
Okay, so the next least expensive option, at least on Knife Center's website, is going to be
Also a taco.
no, this integral flipper from Lion Steel for basically the same price, slightly more, and it's bigger, beefier, non-removable, not a Spyderco collab. Tons of crazy machining on that handle, though.
I wonder
so
if I could drill a hole through that knife.
probably
The old SR22.
yeah. So yeah, it looks like integral, and yeah, even as you scroll, the next okay, so yeah, basically
Tacos.
your competitive
tacos.
options are Lion Steel, basically, is what you get. Oh, there's a Chavez here for 315 American, but now we're getting up there. So, yeah, there basically are no other real competitive options, which is cool. I think.
Depends. Be a whole lot cooler if it was.
You guys got anything else to talk about, or?
Leatherman made some knives.
Oh yeah,
They
that
did.
whole thing too.
That whole thing.
Tell me
You know.
So
Shut the fuck up. Excuse me. Sorry, my neighbors are being very loud in my hallway.
I see.
It's last day of Stampede, man.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. That's the right answer to both of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I bet transit is just a hellscape right now. Anyway,
Oh, I can only imagine.
2
so
folders, 3 picks.
yeah, so these aren't cheap.
But nowhere else is with Magna Cut and USA made. Everyone's bitching about price point right now about these. I'm like, find me American made Magna Cut. Find it, not offshore. It's within the price point that everyone else selling Magna Cut on US soil is selling Magna Cut for. And everyone lost their mind online about how expensive these things were.
Yeah, because you can get a Spyderco and Magna Cut for a shelf price of like half of what one of these things
For a
cost.
folder, but find me a fixed blade. We're now talking fixed bladed category.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the folder specifically because I think that's where everybody was bitching.
I've seen a lot of reviews more on the fixed than the folding. What's the
Really?
folding
Okay.
going for?
Like 300 American, or like, was it $2.99? No, $3.99, dude. $3.99 Canadian
Okay.
for
Okay.
a stainless steel frame. Yes, a compression lock, but they've got this weird wedge thing attached to it. Apparently, there's a patent pending. I honestly don't know if they're going to get it or not.
That was my only question: is what is different on their compression lock, top button, something lock compared to everyone else's? Because it did say patent pending, and I don't know what the difference is.
So it's hard to tell. There's a video somewhere online. I want to say it's even one of their release videos, but effectively underneath the compression lock, there is a wedge of steel, like a block of steel, so you can kind of see where the liner is. Oh man, this is such shoddy camera work. Anyway, underneath the liner, oh, you can see it going up and down there. I don't know why this is so much better. There's a block of steel that's been either welded or screwed onto place, and that is what's wedging in between a stop plate, or sorry, the handle scale and the blade, because the handle scales are hardened steel. There is no backspacer. They just screw together like Protec style. And they're shelved in a way where they make flat contact with the blade and with the wedge. So, I mean, it's a very clean design in that sense. That you have minimal parts that you're working with, which is cool. Is it truly innovative, though? Maybe. I haven't actually seen one of these taken apart yet. But I'm sorry, $400, dude. That's fucking rough.
Almost $400 for the fixed blade as well.
That's
crazy.
That's almost even worse. Like if you look at, like, and I'm loath to say, but Benchmade's Magna Cut options. Come on. I can't believe it.
Depends on which Magna Cut options too, because you've got a meat crafter that's 600. Yeah. Cat.
Sure, but those ones are also very thinly ground. I got to imagine there's a lot more care in the processing of those just for the fragility of that geometry, but
yeah, I get it, but it's $200 more. So you're talking about price points. I mean, like,
yeah, but
yeah, like you've got their water series with rubber handles.
That's more what I was. That's more what I was comparing to, because these are just G10 handles, and the sheaths are basic, to put it nicely.
Kydex blade covers.
So, well, one of them's Kydex, the other one is leather with a Kydex front. It's weird. I don't know if we're actually going to get a good view of the opposite side, but it's like leather just backed all the way down.
Okay.
And to be fair, the hollow grind on these blades looks very nice. This Pioneer's strange because it's hollow ground at the tip and then flat ground on the main section of the blade. So
Really?
Easier to poke into stuff, easier to kind of use the tip for fine detail work if you could with a blade this big. But then the rest of it is flat ground, so if you're going to be batoning with it, chopping with it, you still have a lot of meat, which, okay, it's an interesting design choice.
It's the exact opposite of any other Tonto out there.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. But I'm glad they came out with some other designs that are a bit more conventional.
I do like... Oh, I can't see the names right now.
Oh, sorry. I'll bring this
Russell.
back here. The Russell, the Santoku looking thing. Yeah, the flat ground thing. That thing's pretty cool. Yeah, I do like, and to be clear, I do like the design of these things. It's just, once again, price points, like, okay.
Yeah, $375 CAD for, and again, it is Magna Cut. That is a kitchen knife ultimately. What's the blade length on that?
Oh, good question. Specifications.
They don't have those on Leatherman's website.
Oh, so they have it down here. Oh,
Orange.
Yeah. 60 to 63 is a
Did
pretty
I-
good spread on that MagnaCut, though.
dude, that's the worst part. Honestly, my least favorite thing about these, all of these, is that their MagnaCut is 60 to 63.
Oh,
So
yuck.
you
A
could get
4-point
like,
spread.
dude, you could get like an amazing heat rate on this thing, or you could get like meh, barely acceptable for what MagnaCut is capable
Yeah.
of being.
Why
Like,
are you spending the extra money on
dude,
MagnaCut?
$375. Get your heat treat dialed in.
Mhm.
Like, at least be intentional with it. Don't give me a fucking 4-point spread on this shit.
I do kind of
Well,
like.
But you could
the
get
blue
the
slush.
fastener color with blue slush, you see.
I do
don't
kind of like it. It
yeah.
looks nice. It looks like toothpaste.
It don't look bad.
Yeah.
If you spent that much time coming up with that name, someone needs to be fired.
What about the light luster polish?
I don't give a shit. Someone needs to be fired for that. Probably the same person.
Can you
Fire
show
that
me
guy.
the different colors
It's
of
blue,
handles
it's
there?
green, it's
Yeah,
orange. Go
here's
back
some-
to actually making your knife nice instead of worried about the fucking.
Okay, the Evergreen has an orange L. That's all right. Oh, and your sheath color does change depending on which of these knives you get. So that's what you're paying the extra, $200 on top of what this should ultimately cost.
Yeah, I think the white one's the nicest.
So
The
now
glove
my
gray's nice too.
fastener color is flame instead of blue fly or blue slush.
Uh-huh.
Blue slush. Now it's flame. Now it's vapor gray with the other one. Wow. Someone needs to fucking die. It's
Tell me how you really feel.
Sorry, I was volunteering as
someone's
tribute
getting
there.
overpaid. Someone's getting overpaid to make stupid words instead of designing a knife. That's why it's $375 CAD is because of blue slush. That's why.
So
Vapor gray fucked us.
So, just for the record, yeah, you can get a Gerber strong arm in MagnaCut for $150 American. Do you remember how fucking thick that knife is and how much material there is in it? And yeah, it's
Make a
Gerber,
strong
but
arm in Magna now?
dude, they do.
Damn right they do.
Their White River Knives has a whole bunch of stuff in MagnaCut under 200. But come on, you can't tell me that this is
Yeah,
an
but that's
okay
a wee,
price
that's
for
a
this
A
shit.
Bradford's 180.
That's
Dude.
a wee knife. White Rivers those are all small knives.
Yeah, but I've been scrolling past stuff that has been like 3.5 inches and larger.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, and overpriced and blah blah blah. Like, but
And yes, Leatherman name, but
Does it have the Leatherman warranty?
that's actually a good question. I don't know if their warranty applies to this. I know you can pay for an extended warranty program though that bumps your warranty up to 40 years, so that's something.
Actually,
Yeah. Fucking stupid.
yeah.
Well, okay, not stupid. It is smart, but it is a little bit greasy.
I'm gonna
Um,
break it at least a few times intentionally just to make use of that.
White
I
River
pay
knives,
for it,
it's
I
a
should say.
3.5-inch blade. I want to see something with a 4-inch blade, but I've got them sorted by price, so it may not be for a bit.
Bradford is starting to get into
Yeah,
that.
225 American. What is that?
3-ish.
You can get a Knights of Alaska in MagnaCut.
yeah.
I don't
So
know why that
okay, so
surprised me, but it
Everyone
does.
jumped on that train, Paul.
Yeah, but I didn't think they would.
ooh, 5.25-inch blade here. The Becker, what is this? The BK82, the companion. Yeah,
I
in
think it's got to be
MagnaCut.
86 millimeters thick too, right?
It's a
Well,
BK2 with MagnaCut is what that
yeah.
looks like. They
Yeah,
call it an 82. Yeah.
that's chonky. Good
But
lord.
yeah, if I wanted
So
an unsharpened pry bar in MagnaCut,
Hey, they tried to sharpen it. Give them a break.
who did?
Somebody.
Somebody.
I don't know if it was K-Bar or not, but somebody did, I'm sure.
dude, okay, this might have made my point for me. You can see right here the Chris Reeve and Yoni with a 3 7/8 3.78 inches long blade out of Magna Cut, hollow ground, draw point, 275. Right next to it is a Leatherman Russell for 279. So you tell me if Leatherman's overpriced or not, because I'm willing to bet any knife out of my collection that the Chris Reeves are going to have miles better fit and finish. And a heat treatment that's, a 1 point spread is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I also agree with you, but that one doesn't say add to cart.
No, but
who knows what that'll price will be when it says add to cart?
Well, no,
we all know how this freaking retail game works.
That is actually a good point. I thought I had. This is a new item, so that should be the price when it lands. Well, I'll go to Chris Reeve.
Sometimes our prices change before knives land.
Okay, but
I'm just saying. We know how retail works here.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to show me some valid add to cart items?
That's true.
You already have. The Bradfords were cheaper. The White River stuff, even though smaller blades were. Yes, it's not the cheapest, but it's definitely not the most expensive either.
I'm also now interested in this Inyoni all of a sudden. It's
it's a good looking knife. It always has been a good looking knife. We should just buy it and the backpacker, and we should get those on the pre-order list as soon as possible.
We should.
That's a cool anyway. I think that's the big thing for me is all the YouTubers that I've seen have lost their mind about how crazy the price point is. And for an American-made fixed blade, it's kind of a middle of the road. Like, yes, definitely cheaper options out there, but yes, lots of more expensive options out there too for American made.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think for me, more than anything, it was like everyone lost their minds and like, Leatherman, how dare you? It was kind of the response almost on like some of the reviews that I saw. Like,
I wonder if that's in response to like, the Arc was $310 when it was first came out. It's $300 now.
That's a good point.
And if people are upset about the idea of them jumping price points, because we've seen other companies do that and they've gotten vitriol from
how many times have we bitched about Benchmade, and yet the conversation always returns to yes, but look at what they're charging for everything else.
And look at how often they're bought.
Who
I was gonna say, and then also PS sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Switch 2 all over again.
Well, yeah.
But as far as like people complaining, and then it sold out the first day.
So on that note, then, if we look at things like, and I don't know, the folders bug me more. Like, okay,
stainless steel handles for that price point is bullshit.
Now, yes, there's the patent.
It should be an aluminum or a titanium or something with that price.
So with the design, I know they wanted to go with an integral steel handle. That makes sense. I actually don't have any problems with the design itself. They did a lot of skeletonizing in order to keep the weight down. Like, if I recall, the Blazer here, like, it wasn't that heavy for being a full steel handle. Okay, well, I don't know grams. 104 grams. What is that to ounces?
Glider says 3.4 ounces.
Yeah.
28 to an ounce, Joe.
So like,
okay. The Blazer says 3.7 ounce.
Yeah. So I actually think that's pretty goddamn reasonable. I think they did a lot to lighten that handle, and it doesn't bother me that it's stainless steel. And they did it with something that would work with their new locking system. It's a Cerakote finish on this one, at least. Fine. I don't have any problems with any of that, actually. My problem comes down to with the price point they decided to try and sell this thing at a 60 to 63 HRC. Like, come on. Your cost of if you're going to tell me that you can sell, like, if retail price for your Arc is 300 Canadian, you're going to charge me an extra $100
for that many less moving parts and locking mechanisms. And
that's my problem with it.
Not that much of a spread.
And yes, I'm not opposed to the stainless steel handle. And like I said, I didn't realize the 3.4 on the smaller one and the 3.7 on the bigger one. That's impressive. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But the price point for that is, I think, for me, the biggest point. Like, if you're charging 400 CAD for it, for this Blazer, and I'm working at Magna Cut, but I'm still stainless steel handle, like, where's my justification when that 400 CAD can be a Bel Air? Like,
that's
for
the problem
with an access lock that's harder to machine. Or
and
whatever.
I think that ultimately that's what's super frustrating for me about this is, like, I actually don't have any complaints as of yet, as far as the design is concerned. This looks like a really solid offering, but
Do they have some Vero to you at all?
a little bit, yeah. That single finger choil with like the kind of the tapered handle. Yeah, it absolutely reads like a Vero.
Even the
Well, and
Russell.
even the glider, it's got that, what is it called, Mariner tactile turn. I think just came out with the Bob Truzola.
Yeah, it's got a similar
This has
vibe.
got some serial, or the Dash Hound from Vosteed, or like it's got some sheep's footy similarities to everything that's trendy right now for sure.
Yeah. I do know that like Neves Knives apparently was complaining about some fit and finish issues, like the surface finish on some of the steel components. I don't know.
But this glider is a 3-inch blade on the nose, so it's not big. It's a mini grip
No.
size. Yeah.
We will probably get a review from DBK here pretty quick. They
Cool.
put up a video recently. What's that German knife dealer that they partnered with? I forget the name.
Knives for Gents?
I think
Or Blades
it
for
was
Gents
Knives
or
for
something?
Gents.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did an announcement thing where they invited people to check out the new Leathermans,
Cool.
and they did a video on that and talked about how they were going to be reviewing these pretty darn soon. So
That's good to
that'll be
hear.
interesting to see.
Yeah. It feels like we're saying this more and more, but prices are a bit out to lunch. Design seems fine. Yeah. I am honestly a little bit more torn up about the HRC than anything else. I mean, the price is definitely a piss off, but 60 to 63. Look how deep the hollow grind on this is. Can you imagine how amazing of a blade this would be if you got one in that upper range at like 63? Shit, 62, 63 even? Like, holy hell, that'd be fantastic. Like, there are
and it's not like they're coated blades where you could be like, oh, okay, they're doing a 2-point and a 2-point.
Like it's all of their offerings here, as far as I'm aware, none of them come with a coated blade. Just different options for handle configurations.
I feel like this is not the first time that a company that doesn't necessarily make specifically knives moving into that space has gotten Rockwell's kind of wrong. I can't put a finger on exactly what it is that I'm thinking about otherwise.
Well, and I can't.
Just as
you have to imagine that the subject of Rockwell hardness has come up in discussion for Leatherman, and I'm assuming they just decided it's not worth it for us to change the protocol that we have dialed in for our MagnaCut heat treatment on the arcs to change it just for these new knives. We'll see how they sell first and then get feedback, is probably what they decided.
Sure, but a 4-point spread on the arc is ridiculous too.
So this is the problem, is like I don't mind it as much on the arc because it's theoretically the arc is going to be sold to people who are using multi-tools instead of dedicated tools, meaning they might be a little bit rough with them. Like that's kind of Leatherman's MO, right? With the 25-year warranty and everything. So
sure,
maybe going for a softer heat treatment makes sense in that context. But when we're talking about this price point where they're competing with enthusiast knives that compete in terms of blade performance, I feel like that should have been an indicator to them.
If you told me that the arc was a 60-61 or a 60-62, as far as its MagnaCut, I wouldn't be surprised by that. It's the difference from
the width of the spread is definitely kind of intense.
Add that extra little something because they're big batching it, you know.
And that is probably exactly what it is. It's funny that you say that, like people carrying another knife. When I look at the arc with the MagnaCut steel blade, I've like legitimately sold that thing to people on the idea that you don't want to put a knife in your pocket and then a multi-tool. Buy this and you've got all in one.
And I still think that is true because honestly, even at a 60 HRC, that's still better than what a lot of guys with the multi-tool are used to. And I still think that it's a better option than, splitting stuff up if that's inconvenient for you. But again, it's like you're entering enthusiast territory here with dedicated fixed blades and folders, and I just don't see it.
You're entering enthusiast territory, but you're doing it with the brand recognition and the following like Buck has.
That's what I was going to say, is you're going to get a bunch of guys that are going to beat up on these things.
And that's fair, but we've also seen
better.
Well, we've also seen what MagnaCut can do at very high hardnesses too. So maybe they were playing it conservative, but would it have pissed us off more or less if it was a 60 to 62? instead of a 60 to 63.
No, I would have been like, oh, I wish they would have gone harder.
Yeah.
But at least I know what I'm getting.
Yeah. And like Laren is
Here-
always, yeah. And like Laren is always saying, and I bring him up because he invented Magna Cut, he might know a thing or two. When it comes to the actual performance of a blade, geometry is oftentimes more than half the equation. And if you look at how ridiculous the hollow grind is, particularly on that Blazer, Jesus Christ, that thing's going to slice like nobody's business. Buck and Leatherman have for a long time have had amazing hollow grinds, and the fact that they're willing to do it on steels like Magna Cut is pretty impressive. Like, how many other companies are using hollow ground steel to begin with at high hardness, much less Magna Cut?
Oh, Buck.
That's just it. Like,
Spyderco.
only the guys who do it like regularly. Well, and even Spyderco, like, how many Magna Cut options are there that are hollow ground? They're all flat.
No, not Magna Cut.
Yeah,
Just hollow grinds.
Like hollow grounds in general. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
fair. Yeah.
Yeah, Reeve. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, a Magna Cut smock would slap. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, assault smock.
so would a crew wear. Oh, wait.
I mean, the crew. Okay, yeah. So the crew wear is going to perform basically the same, just sans stainlessness. But I want it. I want it stainless anyway.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah, I want assault
I
smock.
think that's all I got.
Yeah.
Nothing but a trash panda that you can fly with.
Who's calling Sal? We'll give him diagrams. And by that, I mean, I'm just going to send
I'll
him a
give
smock
him
and
the
write the word
schematics.
salt
I
on
don't
it.
know why he didn't improve the knife. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare he?
I'm sure he'll get on it by tomorrow.
J'accuse.
so,
God.
Yeah.
Is that
good
time?
Good times. It is that time.
It is. We did okay.
Thanks to the Cutting Edge Cutlery Co. for bringing in the slime. It was short-lived. We'll get more. Don't worry. We'll get more indeed. It's
More
not Flash or
slime.
Sprinty, so they're coming.
Yeah.
Put your email, notify me, or notify me when available. Email when available. Notify, email. Those words.
Available.
Indeed. Email when notified.
Yeah.
Notify when emailed.
exactly.
That is not a feedback loop you want.
It just screeches.
Neither does our online guy, so don't do that.
Oh God, my inbox is infinitely full.
76 unread emails.
And it doubles every half second.
Yeah. So
76. That's adorable.
thanks, Cutting Edge Cutlery Co. for bringing it in.
Thank you. The
Yeah.
cutting edge. And I don't know. The folks on the Instagrams. I'm sure you're there.
No, they're not. But you know who
They're not.
is there is the Patreon subscribers, past, present, future, that may or may not be here right now. Oh, hiccups. Good times. But yeah, thanks to you. Big thanks a couple years ago. Probably big thanks a couple years from now. You never know. We got to keep you on your toes.
Never know around here. Never trust these guys. Not really.
No, I never have.
That jackass with the purple shirt and the long hair, he's pretty skeevy looking. I don't know.
Anyone else we're thanking? It's go over to the cuttingedgecutleryco.com to email that when available.
Thanks to Sal and whoever's heading up Lion Steel for playing nice and coming up with some fucking bangers. Jesus.
Yeah, thanks to Sal in a mustache. I appreciate you keeping Lion Steel going for the last, something years. So if you say something years.
I don't know how old Lion Steel is.
No idea, dude. Could be from the 1600s. I have no idea. They're not. But anyway.
Yeah.
What are they, windless?
What are they, Boker?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Boker's older than windless, too. By, like, a severe amount, I think.
It's because of their Germanics.
The Germanices?
Yeah, it's dramatic Germans.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm not touching that.
No, you shouldn't. They'll just be dramatic. So thanks for coming, guys. We probably will see you here again next week, given that we can get out of the jungle in time. So
Yeah, is the junglese.
Yeah.
Pinky's
Canadian
crossed.
jungle.
good time. Good time.
How do you cross pinkies?
Just one time though.
Like you're holding pinkies. Like just
It's gonna make bushcraft much more difficult.
what are you talking about? Dagger in one hand, pinky in the other. You're good.
Yeah, why are you holding your pinky?
No, I'm holding
that
someone
back.
else's.
Because
I'm
of
holding,
the dagger.
no, it's the buddy system. I'm holding someone else's pinky.
The buddy system.
Look, if you're holding pinkies with your buddy in the woods,
Yeah. Get
Also-
out of my tent.
It's so
Yeah.
Like, like, that's not my pinky.
Oh
we're not going that far south. We're not getting to
Yeah.
Red Deer. or
No.
Red Deer,
There's no
Longview.
banjos on this camp trip. It's fine.
No.
Yeah.
no, not this time.
All right, gentlemen. We will probably see you here again next Sunday, 7:15 Mountain Standard Time. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you guys tuning in week after week.
Indeed.
No one saying anything else?
Nope.
No.
That's it.
We're
I
all
just-
set. This is the part where you say goodbye and then we say goodbye.
Cool. Okay. In that case, I'm going to say goodbye. And in that form factor, I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I'm Darren Joe.
And I'm exile.ca.
Probably see you next time. And by next time, I mean next week.
A lot
Bye
of
for
us
now.
will make it out of the woods.